Hi everybody, welcome back to Technical Corner. Today we're going to look at the full roll down. Now the full roll down can be done in a easier form, intermediate or advanced, and I'm going to go through all of those. It looks at first viewing like one of the most simple exercises. It looks really quite easy when you first look at it, but actually it's not nearly as easy as it looks because there are many little technical points to be looking out for as you do it, and I'll be going through all of those. I'm also going to show you two of the variations that you'll come across in classes as well. Right, so let's get to it. We're going to start by getting into position. So sit on your mat, sit with your bottom halfway down your mat, bring your feet hip width apart and flat on the mat. Take a few seconds just to get yourself set up really well. So feet, knees and hips line up, pull up straight, nice long straight back, head top up. Make sure your chin's not forward as always, shoulders pulled back and down, and your hands are resting on the mat, palms facing the ceiling. Now, make sure they're down here and then you're not holding up there, because the reason is as soon as you're holding them up there, what tends to happen is the shoulders tense up and they lift. And you want those shoulders to stay down and soft and relaxed. So keep your hands on the mat, palms facing the ceiling. Now, in this position though, some people find it puts a big strain on their lower back, just sitting in this position. So if that's the case, just hold on to the back of your thighs like this and just keep your hands there. Try not to pull on your legs as you go down, but just have them resting there lightly. Okay, so either hands there or hands down into position. Now the breathing is really important as you go through this, so watch out for your breathing. Big deep breaths in, really fill up your lungs. Be patient with your breathing. Don't rush your breathing or you will get into all sorts of difficulties, and I will explain a little bit more about that as we go. So we're going to start with the easiest version of the full roll down, and for that you place your hands on the back of your thighs, and earlier on I said don't pull on your legs, but in the easier version you can. Okay, so you're using your hands on your legs just to help you down and help you up until you build up that strength through your abdominals, and you're able to do it without your hands there. But to begin with, yeah, hands on the back of your thighs, sit up tall, shoulders down and back, nice long neck. Now you take a big deep breath in to prepare, and then as you exhale, you start to pull your abdominals in, you tilt that pelvis forward and you use your abdominals to bring yourself down. Now your hands are on the back of your thighs and you're just pulling on the back of your thighs just to help yourself down so that you don't drop. And when you're down and your head is down, you inhale as your arms go over your head behind you. And then as you exhale, you bring your elbows back to the mat. You use them to give yourself a little push there to help yourself up. Hands to the back of your thighs, and you use your hands pulling on the back of your thighs to lift you up. So what we're trying to avoid here, and I'm just going to show you, what we're trying to avoid is any sudden falls or movements. So you're wanting to keep it as smooth, steady and flowing as you possibly can. So let me just show you what I mean. So here, inhale, exhale, you're going down. Now when you get to about here is where people tend to do this. They drop, So you're trying to avoid that. So your hands are on the back of your thighs. When you get to about there, hands on the back of your thighs, you pull on them and you just ease your way over. You just feel one vertebra come down after the other. Okay, keep it smooth, keep it steady. All right, when you're down, this is the next area that people struggle with. Okay, not this very bit, but you're going to inhale as the arms go over, so no problems there. And then as you exhale, you bring your arms over. Now this is where people struggle when they get to about there, because there the abdominals have to really work to lift you up, and sometimes they're not strong enough. So when you get to there and you think, uh-oh, I'm not going to make it, then get your elbows into the mat, give a little push into your elbows just to lift yourself up a bit, and then bring your hands to the back of your thighs and pull on your legs to lift yourself up. Now, if you're very new to this, I would say just focus on getting down as smoothly as you can. Okay, so you've got gravity to help you down a little bit here. On the way up, it's a lot harder. So if you're really struggling, don't worry too much about the way up. Just give yourself that helping hand and come back up, and then just really focus on coming down as beautifully and smoothly as you can. Okay, so that's the easiest form. Now, the intermediate, let me show you. So this time for the intermediate, your hands go down. You're not holding on. You're taking a big deep breath in. As you exhale, you're pulling in your abdominals, pelvic floor to navel, navel to spine. Now, it's always getting the lower back down to the mat. That's the hardest bit. You're coming down one vertebra at a time. So slowly, smoothly, steadily, all the way down. When you're down here, inhale as your arms go over your head behind you. And then as you exhale, you bring your arms over, but you keep your fingertips in line with the shoulders, but the elbows are soft. The shoulders are down and soft, the arms are soft, the hands are soft. So you're not pulling with the arms here. You're going to use your abdominals, but the fact that your arms are in this position here, the levers, it helps to pull you up. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so let me just do that again. It's inhale, arms go over. Exhale, you bring your arms over. You start to pull those abdominals in and you squeeze to come back up and down, and then you're ready to go down. So the focus is always on getting one vertebra down to the mat after the other as smoothly and carefully as you can. Now we're going to go into the advanced version. Okay, so starts the same. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, pull in, tilt your pelvis forward, and now you're pulling those abdominals in and you're feeling your way down one vertebra after the other as smoothly as you can, and you're working right the way up your spine until your head is down. When it is, a big deep breath in as your arms go over, and then as you exhale, you bring your hands all the way over to the mat first, and then you lift. Okay, so let me just do that again. Inhale, the arms go over. Exhale, you bring your hands over to the mat. Now you squeeze. You try not to let those shoulders come forward, and you come all the way back. There it is. Now, let me also just point out a few things here. This is what you have to watch for when you're working. The body always finds, as we know, it's very clever that way, it finds the easiest way to do anything. So any given movement, your body will work out how to make it easier, but that's often not what we're after in Pilates. We're trying to isolate it to the abdominals and not allow the other parts of the body to take over. Okay, so for this is what I mean. So when you're coming down here, what the body would naturally do is to really tense up here, the shoulders as you're coming down to help yourself down. Okay, and we want to avoid that. And then the next thing we want to avoid is, as you bring your arms over, you don't want to be pulling with your head neck like this. You don't want that to be happening. You know, people can really get into that thing where they're using their shoulders and their head and their upper body to pull them up, but then you've lost the abdominals there. So just keep it in mind that that upper body needs to stay super relaxed all the way through. There shouldn't be any tension in your neck as you come in. If you really focus on using the abdominals, that shouldn't happen too much. So if you struggle, go back to the easy version, the intermediate version, whatever works for you. Now, the two variations that you'll come across sometimes in classes with me, and I'm going to show you both of them. And this does make them more advanced. So if you're already struggling with any of the others, I wouldn't bother with these. If in a class I'm saying let's do these, then you can just stick to the classic Rolldowns and avoid the variations. But otherwise, the first variation I'm going to show you is this one. This one you have two pauses on the way down to the mat where the abdominals really need to be working that little bit more. The way up is the same. All right, so let me just show you this. Get yourself ready, release those shoulders, chin off the chest, big deep breath in. As you exhale, you start pulling in, you tilt your pelvis forward and you lean back to about there, okay? Your abdominals are pulled in, just keep them pulled in, you pause there, you take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, you pull in even tighter to bring a couple more vertebrae down. Okay, now you're about there. You pause. Now this is hard. You keep them pulled in. Inhale. Exhale, and then you squeeze with everything you've got left. Squeeze, squeeze in those abdominals nice and tight all the way down. When you're down, inhale as your arms come over your head behind you. And as you exhale, bring the arms over and you squeeze it back up again. Okay, so it's those 2 pauses on the way down, but you keep your abdominals pulled in all the way through that way down. You don't release them completely until you're taking that big deep breath in and your arms are going over your head behind you. I hope that makes sense. So that's the first variation with the 2 pauses. The second variation that you'll find is this one. This also works the quads and the hip flexors at the same time, but because your leg is up, and I'll show you what I mean in a second, because your leg is going to be up, it's about maintaining that sort of centered feeling, everything pulled in, solid and still and balanced as you come down. Okay, so let me show you what I mean here. So for this one, start the same, but you need to just lean back just a little bit. So you tilt your pelvis forward and lean back just a touch. Okay, now I'm ready for the next bit, which is where I'm gonna stretch my right leg out. Now my right leg is parallel to my left, so it's quite hard. This muscle here, the quads and the hip flexors, having to work really hard to keep that leg up. Leg nice and straight, so it's not down there and it's not right up there. It's parallel to your left. Rotate out with the hip, soft point. Big deep breath in. Exhale, pull in, and you're taking it down. You're pulling those abdominals in tighter and tighter and feeling for your spine to come down steadily, 1 vertebra at a time until you are down. And when you are, big deep breath in as your arms go over your head. And as you exhale, you bring them back over and you pull yourself up. Squeeze it up. And then the foot comes down and then you straighten out the other leg. Big deep breath in. Exhale, pull in, keep centered. Don't let yourself tilt over to the right or the left. The abdominals are locked in, tight, 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 bringing your spine down. When you are down, you're ready to take a big deep breath in. As your arms go over your head, and as you exhale, bring them back over and squeeze and bring it down. Okay, there it is. And just stretch your legs out, give them a little shake. Before I leave you, there is just one little point I really need to drive home here because it's very important. It's the breathing. So when you first start Pilates, it's the thing that, it's the timing of the breathing and the pulling in. It's a coordination of those 2 that really tends to stump people. And there are some exercises where it doesn't matter so much, but on this one in particular, the breathing is crucial. It's so important that you breathe fully. If you're breathing incorrectly, the chances are you're making your life twice as hard through the exercise. Let me just explain briefly before I leave you. So here I'm going to breathe. I'm going to talk through my breathing. This could be a bit tricky, but I'm going to try. I'm going to talk through my breathing and just explain what I mean about how if it's not working correctly, it's going to make your life twice as hard, like this. Okay, so big deep breath in. As I'm exhaling, I'm still exhaling. Abdominals are pulled in really tight, still exhaling. Down. Big deep breath in. Filling up the lungs. As I exhale, I bring the arms over. Now I'm continuing to exhale. Blow the air out. All the way up. Now that exhale on the way up, you're exhaling, you're blowing the air out of your lungs all the way up. As you come out, if you're inhaling instead of exhaling on the way up, I always sort of picture it in my mind as if I'm a sailboat, and when I'm coming up, if I'm exhaling, I've got the wind blowing from behind and it's blowing me up there. If, on the other hand, I'm inhaling on my way up, it's as if I'm sailing into the wind and it's pushing me back. That's literally how it feels. It feels you're being blocked, it's stopping you. So make sure on the way up, you're really emptying out your emptying out your lungs as you come all the way back up. So really make sure you focus on those deep breaths in and out. They're really important. Anyway, that is your full roll down. And if you have any questions, more questions, if anything is unclear, please comment, in the comments below. Any questions, any issues, problems, let me know and I will get back to you on that one. Okay? See you very soon. Bye.